Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in an ever-changing, almost daily climate here on YouTube, we're gonna do our best to kind of continue with business as usual. I gotta be honest, all of this rhetoric that I've heard lately is too silly to talk about. So let's have some fun and dive into this. It is our continuation of the Wei Jiang oversized KO of the Toyworld Throttlebots, and this time around, we're gonna take a look at one of the arms of the bunch, that being, technically, Chase. Yeah, I know, he's orange. We'll talk about that too when we cover everything to do with this guy in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, I guess I'll say like, comment, share. More important than ever now, please subscribe. I guess hit the notification bell for now, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. But you know what you can do? You can check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers Collectors, NL, and the Autobot family. And if you want to keep interacting as we move forward, by all means, man, seek me out everywhere across social media. And this is our version of Chase. And it's orange, I get that. These oversized knockoffs came out in several colors, and some of them were fairly close to the actual character. Some of them weren't. Now, none of these guys from this set belong to me. They've all been on loan by a good friend of the channel, Wayne, and the closest approximation that he could find to Chase was the orange lad, because the red one apparently was sold out. Now, that being said, like, it's fine. It might be a little bit of a stretch if it's Chase, but like, I get it. I'll talk more about the coloring as we go through. It's pretty good. It's an excellent car. It's a pretty great robot. And the conversion, it's okay, but it does have, like, it has some genius aspects, but those same genius aspects are also a little bit frustrating because of a couple of things. And we'll talk about what they are when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And so we continue on here with one that is indeed stylized. This is an orange version of the knockoff that's been identified as Chase from the Throttlebots. Now I know Chase is supposed to be red. You know, I get that, red and probably a bit of blue, but this mold came in a bunch of different colors, and orange was the closest that was available at the time. I don't own this. This is on loan to me by friend of the channel, Wayne. This entire set is on loan to me by friend of the channel, Wayne. So I don't actually own this. And when I asked him about why this guy was orange, he said it's the closest to red. So that makes sense. I get it. Again, this guy's going to be a limb, and this guy's going to also be a robot, naturally. He rolls fantastic in this mode. Before we kind of get into transformation or seeing what he looks like as a limb, let's see what he comes with first in terms of accessories, and we're going to start with the Justice and Liberty instructions. They're pretty decent, actually, but like, things don't move quite as easily as what they would indicate on here. Like, the tabs and whatnot are quite tight in a lot of cases, so you do want to be kind and delicate with it. He also comes with this nicely molded sword. It looks pretty good. It is cast in a gray plastic, no paint whatsoever. And this blaster also cast in a gray, a darker gray, almost a bluish gray, probably a graphite. It looks pretty good. Again, no paint at all. Okay, so now for all intents and purposes, I'll show you the arm mode, because that's sort of on the way to bringing this guy to robot mode. I just hope that I can show this easily, because you do need to untab kind of the back of the vehicle here, and that is a tricky thing really to do, because it does tab in quite tight back here. But I'll try and do it all the same. Maybe I need to take the arms out here. Maybe that's the best way for me to start this I got that off, and I got that off. Good. Okay, now that I've gotten that apart, we can kind of pull these legs sort of out to the side a little bit for now. This whole section right here is going to fold up over the top of this front half. Like there's a crease going across right here. All of this will fold up over the front half of the vehicle. So just to take that out of it and get this out of the way, we should be able to fold in the trunk piece, and then this whole piece folds up over. Now, we should be able to, and again, like in the instructions it don't show that it helps to take these arm pieces out. Now we should be able to extend the legs down like that, and same over here. Extend this leg down like that, and we can put these pieces back in. Get that up over. Now, at this point, you may think that you just put these legs together, and in a way you do, but you do have to move the thigh. Now the thigh is sort of measured with a silver dab of paint detailing. I'm not sure you can see it. It's in right there. That will turn to the outside, and then down by the knee, this will turn again. I just want to make sure that I'm getting this correct now, or am I not getting this correct? Ah, that's what it is. Yeah, so you turn that silver piece to the outside as I did, and then you turn it like this and it will bend this way. Then you can put these legs together and turn at the waist. There you go. That's the trick. That is the trick, and if you didn't do so already, you tab together right there and tab together down there. So basically what you're doing is putting him like this. I was just trying to bend the knees back the wrong way. So when you extend the legs, you turn the silver detailing of the thighs to the outside. So the kind of hollow back side of the thighs are now facing each other, and that's when you can put these legs together, and that's what gives you an elbow bend. It's the knee bend of the robots. But if you don't turn the thighs and you leave them such that the silver painted detail is still the front of the thigh, then you're not going to have a elbow joint for your combined mode. Your hand will go in this section down here. These back sections right here kind of fold back out of the way, which we'll kind of have to do when we go to robot mode anyway. And then if we come up here, you'll notice that we have a couple of peg holes right there. Those peg holes will go on over a section in the, I guess, head and shoulder add-on piece that goes on the wide load torso, and then it will kind of tab in here. We'll see that more when the time comes, but this is basically your arm. It's very Combiner Wars-esque. Now, that being said, we can straighten the legs out again, and we can turn the waist around, and we can take these thighs and turn them back this way so that the silver detailing is here on the front, and then down by the knee hinge really, you turn this back around. So we come then to this side, and you can see here the silver detailing. You turn that so that it's back around, and then you turn this around. And really what you have now is something that looks like this. So we already had the legs extended. Basically, we picked out the doors on the side, and then we extended the legs out. We folded them out and extended them out. And then when we got them down, we tabbed them together to make an arm. But I did mention that you would split this section. I already have it done here, so we have a toe here and we have a heel back here. I will show it on this side now so that you can see what we did. Basically, I'm just bringing that section back and then folding that up. And in essence, what we have now is a guy who can stand up, and that allows us to back things up so that we can do the rest of the conversion going up the body, because technically the lower body's done. Now, to be fair, this orange, at least to my eye, looks very nice, and I know it's supposed to be red. I believe that with the red copy, where we have the kind of graphite gray on this guy, I think it's blue on the red version of this. So you kind of have to mush the colors a little bit. We'll talk about that when we get to grading. In terms of conversion here now though, we can bring that out to the side and bring that out to the side just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. And then we get to like the hardest sections here. And I say the hardest sections because you have like a lot of little tabbing going on up around the top, and getting it all untabbed is a little bit of a nuisance, really. I will do the best that I can here, and we'll hope for the best. But again, it likes to tab in pretty tightly, although that one came out nicely. So you take that out, and over here, hopefully we can get this one out just as nicely. Oh, real lucky today. Yay! Look at that. Every now and again. Every now and again. So, that being said, we have that off. And we can sort of bend that up a little bit just to sort of start getting it out of the way. We can take these shoulder pieces and bring them down. There's a hinge in here. A hinge in here that goes kind of into the shoulder. So we can take this whole piece now and sort of bring it down so that we have it all kind of opened out. We can extend this section. Be careful not to hold onto the light because it's just glued in there. If you hold onto it, you may very well pull it off, and that would be a real shame. It folds in, by the way. You extend the arm and you fold out the hand, and then you fold that piece in around the back. Extending the arms, little tough. It's a slider, and it's a rough slider, so bring out the hand and see if I can do it here now. Again, like I said, the slider is rough. I'm gonna try and slide that out, and then we'll kind of pick things up. Okay, so now that I've gotten this other arm out, we can come here and rotate the entire waist section around. So now the lower body is facing the right direction. You might say, are you sure GotBot is facing the right direction? I am, because everything is oriented by the arms here. We can also now kind of lower the arms back down to give us the room to swivel the entire kind of head and like chest section around. And then this whole piece will, I think it flips in, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it flips in. I think it flips in. But it's, again, it's tight to do. There, we have to pick this off the side and pick this off the side, and then this flips in. And then we can, I believe, rotate the whole thing around. I have to get this turned, but the tolerance, I suppose, is kind of tight here. It's getting caught up there. Bring these pieces up on the sides. You reorient your shoulders and you bring that down and tab it in on the tummy. The head is already turned around. These arms should be angled in the right orientation. There's two hinges in there. You need to sort of get them angled correctly. That comes up over. Okay. Then we come to the side, as ugly as that looked. Then we come to the side, and these pieces here flip down and flip down. This backpack actually rotates up and around like that. And these orange pieces that I had flipped down, there's a gray hinge in here. You kind of push that in and kind of push it back a little bit, and then these orange kind of fender pieces fold up on the side, sort of in behind the arms. Now he is done and in all of his glory in robot mode, and we can actually begin to do some of the grading. In terms of coloration, it doesn't look like Chase here. I have to give it honestly, a 0, all things considered. I mean, it's a nice robot, but it does not look like Chase, obviously. Obviously, however, I'm not going to leave it at a 0. I'm going to grade it as if he was the blue and red of the kind of Chase variant that you can get. And in that case, the thighs would be blue, the hands would be blue, the section here on the inner arm would be blue. All of that should be a red body. The head, however, would also be blue, and I think the face on that one is also silver. It should be gold. So I would probably give it a grade by rights of about a 7. Like if somebody tells you it's Chase, you'd be like, oh yeah, okay. But if nobody tells you it's Chase, I don't think you're going to make the mistake. Like you're not going to mistake this guy for this guy. This, of course, being the Titan's Return Roadburn, who is an official version of Throttlebot Chase. And again, even this would not be an ideal Chase because his forearms are black and his legs are black. So maybe we haven't had the best version of the Throttlebots yet. Certainly not the best version of Chase. But you can see, if you look at both of them, you can see how this guy is supposed to kind of homage this guy, sorta. It's loose though, so I'm being kind, I'm going to say 7. What about the transformation? Well, the transformation has some genius aspects to it. By the way, while I'm talking here, I'm just going to show you guys how things go in the hands here. That's very loose, very, very loose. And this is tolerance perfectly for the record. The sword, not great. The blaster, pretty great. The transformation has some genius, brilliant aspects to it. Like, it should be quite logical. I assume the actual normal size Toyworld version, and I think the normal size for these guys is somewhere in the vicinity of like a Classics Universe Deluxe size, as where the oversized, well, here he is next to something fairly current, Siege, Optimus Prime, and you can see he's bigger than Optimus. Like, he's definitely a Voyager size. You know, definitely a Voyager size, if not a little bit bigger. Certainly classic Voyager size, like something like Titan's Return Sentinel Prime or Power of the Prime Starscream. He's definitely at least that size. So, in terms of the transformation, while there's some brilliant aspects to it, I don't think that being oversized helps it any. And as such, I'm going to say that the transformation is about, again, I would say it's about an 8. It's good, but like, there are pieces here that don't feel great. Like, sliding that joint on the elbow does not feel great. Everything with the legs feels great. When we get to turning the head around and trying to get this, hood down on his chest. Like, it's brilliant that the head turns around and then this also flips around to come down. That's genius. But I feel like the way the shoulders are, it's just, I won't even say a tolerance issue. It's just you have to really kind of wiggle stuff to get it past. And I wish that was a little smoother. I love how the backpack turns around. I think the rest of that is good. But there's a lot of twists and turns there that might confuse some people who are not well experienced with these guys. Of course, us collectors know these sort of movements pretty well. Novice collectors, maybe not quite as much. It's good. It's good, but it could be a little bit simpler, I think. In terms of the articulation, well, he's a fine arm and he rolls great in vehicle mode. The head goes left and right, looks up and down. The arms are on like a ball joint. They can move forward and back. I guess they can go all the way around. Yeah, they can go all the way around. They can also go all the way out. This one here is pretty loose, but I think that's just because this is a KO. This one is not as loose. Bicep swivel, we have a little over 90 degree at the elbow. No waist rotation or wrist rotation. No wrist. We do have a waist rotation. We do have the ability to do splits all the way out to the side. He can kick all the way forward and all the way back. We have knees. Though, why don't I have my knees oriented correctly here now? Maybe they should be up to the side, should they? That silver that I said should be up front, maybe that's supposed to be up to the side. My mistake, and I apologize for that. because that seems to be the only way that we're able to get his knee. And he does have a little under 90 degree at the knee. Well, actually excellent toe tilt, amazing toe tilt, and ankle, like the whole thing moves, right? So foot tilt, I guess. The toes can go forward, the heel can go forward. He is extremely stable to stand. And like he can sort of, he can sort of get in like a bit of a striking pose, I guess. I'm going to say that the articulation, just get that right there, get that like that. I'm going to say that his articulation is quite good. Again, I'm going to say it's about an 8. I am, again, sorry about the mishap there with the conversion. It doesn't change the score. It was just like a mix-up that I had, and now it's fixed. Overall score for the guy, a 7 for his look, an 8 for transformation, an 8 for articulation. Overall, the guy's about a 7.75. He's pretty good, but he's definitely not the weakest of the sextuplet known as the Throttlebots. But he's also not the best. He's somewhere in the middle of the road, and maybe that's okay. He does make a great arm, great robot. I feel like the gray plastic here is nice and robust and thick. I feel like certain panels on the orange are a little thinner than I'd like, and I think that's what marks him down a bit. Some of the issues that I had with the conversion, I don't think that they'd be there if it wasn't for the fact that this guy does have a little bit thinner orange plastic. And so here we are once again, and we have him in arm mode. This is the way he will go combined. The hand goes in between the two little feet pieces. It's a fine arm, it's fine robot, it's fine car. The transformation is even fine, except the sliders on the arms they could be a little bit better. I really wish that the side mirrors folded in or something, because I feel like they're very easy to crack off. Not even crack off, they're plastic pieces that are glued in there, so even if you crack it, you can always glue it back on, but like you shouldn't have to do that. The gray plastic used throughout is a nice, thick, robust plastic, kind of like the plastic that was used on the roll bar character. The orange it feels thinner. I don't know if it's quite as thin as the orange that was used, say, on wide load, but it definitely doesn't feel as good as the gray. Now, luckily, the hinges and whatnot are all made out of the gray, so I don't think anything is going to break there. However, there's a lot of pieces that tab together to hold things in place that are orange, and I do worry a little bit about the longevity of those orange tabs. Although, to be fair, I haven't seen any stress marks on any of the tabs for this guy. Certainly not like we encountered with wide load. I think he's great, I think he's fine, but like he's not going to be one that you're quickly going to necessarily convert back and forth, mostly because everything tabs in so tightly. The tolerances are great, but it doesn't necessarily lend itself to an easy conversion, at least not to get it started. Once you kind of get one piece out, the rest of it goes pretty smoothly. The way that we handle turning this whole kind of roof section around, as well as the way that the hood kind of swings around to the front here and then rotates around, it reminds me very much of something like Titan's Return Trigger Happy. It's genius, but unlike Trigger Happy, who had like clear range of motion for all of his rotations, this guy, you know, when you're twisting around, say, the hood piece, it might hit into the front tires a little bit or something like that. It's good, there's no doubt about it. It might not be the best of the bunch, but it's a far, far cry from the worst of the bunch. Is he worth getting? Absolutely. If you're in for this set, then you really kind of got to have Chase, now don't you? Anyway, let me know what you think about these guys. Wait, you can only do that for a little while before you're not going to be able to do that either, apparently. Things have got to change. I'm gonna, this whole nonsense, it's not even close to being ready to roll out, and it's just making the like policymakers that are trying to push it, just making them look bad. It really is. It's just showing their ignorance of you guys, the audience, so profoundly. Anyway, for now, nevertheless, please let me know what you think about these guys. You know I love to hear from you guys, as always. I appreciate you stopping by and giving me some of your very valuable time. Again, it is paramount importantly, like, the most important thing I can ask you to do now is please subscribe, stick with us, keep having fun as long as we can, man, you know, keep having fun as long as we can. Whew. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every day you do make a difference. And I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit right here, man, inside the videos.